NSA Houston fans, and welcome to another NSA Houston podcast. The title is Together We Rise, and we're doing just that across the Houston area with profound organizations and exceptional leaders, actually presidents of other organizations. Now, our whole goal is to support Houston and support you as we are members of the same city, the same nation, or around the world if you're listening. I think you're really going to enjoy our guest today. She is bubbly. She and I have been friends for a little bit, and she is president of an organization that is doing really great work in the real estate industry, commercial. So, Nicole, why don't you share a little bit about yourself and introduce it?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me, Megan. I am Nicole Foster, CPM. I am a general manager with Transwestern. Transwestern is a full service commercial real estate company. We're across the nation in many locations, and I'm actually responsible for a healthcare asset services portfolio of about 1,002,000 square feet. So got my hands full with that, but Transwestern is an amazing company. But here I am representing IREM Houston. I am the 2025 IREM Houston chapter president. IREM Houston is, as Megan said, a real estate trade organization. We focus on education and networking and professional development for property management professionals in the city of Houston. IREM also has chapters all across the nation as well, and we're a huge organization, Houston being top two largest chapters in the nation.
Top two. I'm not surprised.
We kind of tie with Boston back and forth, friendly competition wise. But here in Houston, we have just under 600 members.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a ship you're at the helm of. And just real quick, can you share with our members, what does IREM stand for?
So IREM is the Institute of Real Estate Management. I have to remember, I work in the healthcare space, so acronyms just are natural for me. So yes, Institute of Real Estate Management.
Yeah. Hey, no problem. I know that for those of you listening, we want to make sure you know who to follow, what are some good groups. So just wanting to make sure you're connecting to what the right acronyms are. So Nicole, I know you and I have worked together before. And so if you wouldn't mind, share with us a little bit about who you are, not just the work as you just explained, but what do you do in your spare time and how did you get into your career?
So, there's every property manager has their story of how they sort of fell into property management, and mine is no different. As a senior in high school, my mom knew a property manager, wanted to get me a job as a summer job doing something outside of the house. And she got me a job on a multifamily apartment community with her property manager friend. And I was her file clerk for the summer. So my job was to put together 300 lease files on this multifamily property and to make them basically standardized. So to make every single file look exactly the same. And it took every bit of the summer to get that done. I'll never forget Debbie Smith, because if the label was off of the tab, just by a hair, she would reject the file and I would start all over again. But what it taught me is, one, organization, but also just those details, like paying attention to those details. And I'll never forget that experience working with Debbie Smith. Wherever Debbie is now, we lost contact. But that's basically how I sort of fell into the industry. And I went to work from there. I went back and graduated from high school. I became a young mom. And so I ended up working in another multifamily community as the leasing associate, because I knew that I could get a stipend for my apartment as a young mom. So that's sort of how that worked out. And the rest is history. My son is turning 27 in a couple of weeks. So who knew 27 years later that, I'd still be a property manager, which I love it, though. It's my passion. People are my passion. And that's one thing in property management. We get to interface with people. We get to take care of people. And that's just my passion.
Yeah, I love it. And I've definitely seen people as your passion, upfront and close and personal. It's definitely, it comes natural to you, I think, as well, with your energy and how you connect and the joy that you bring. That's one of my favorite pieces, is always to see that Nicole Foster smile.
Yes, yes. Everybody's like, calm. They know when I get to the office. They're like, oh, she's here. I'm like, I'm all amped up when I get to the office. And I love that though. I mean, I think energy is contagious. And my team, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And so it's nice to have that balance of me being, the people person, the loud, energetic, I'm bringing us all together. And you have your paper people and you have your people, and you need both, right? You need both to make a team work. So,
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better
yeah.
myself. I love that paper people and people.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Well,
yes.
if we're thinking about IREM Houston, and I know we've talked a little bit about NSA Houston, tell us how people should get involved with IREM Houston or anything, to promote that organization. What would you like to share with folks?
Absolutely. Well, I'll with IREM Houston and IREM in general as a brand, we focus big time on education. It's our primary focus and ensuring that our property managers are taking with them in their industry and in their day-to-day strong education in asset management and in finance, in human resources. And so a large arm of IREM is our designations process. We don't always really focus on that side of our education, but it is certainly a big part of being a part of the organization. We encourage people really to join as an associate member, get involved, join committees, kind of determine your network, what you like, what your passion is, and then going from there into your designation process, because that's ultimately what we want to see is that managers are learning and growing in their professional development.
Yeah, very nice. Well put too. And I know as you're thinking about the strategy for this year, would you like to share a little bit about that lovely theme and how you're seeing it in the org?
Oh my gosh, it is amazing to see it happening and working because I started forming my theme early in the summer last year, knowing that I was going to become president in January. And once I put together just that framework, that outline of my theme, which was that you are the CEO of IREM Houston, CEO being another acronym, collaboration, engagement via empowerment. So the E is actually a double E. And then operational excellence. And once I had that framework, I was able to really hone in on what I wanted our strategy to be in November. And Megan, thank you so much for your amazing facilitation of our strategy meeting, because I think it definitely did translate into the successes that we've seen already this quarter. I sent out a way to work team quarterly update, and we've done membership outreach. We're engaged. Our committee meetings are packed full. We've opened our office. There's just so much good news. We've been able to deliver on events for our members. And now we're actually this week, we're holding our third class for the year. So again, that education piece. This is actually, this week, we're hosting our capstone, which is where this is the last step for people to become CPMs. So we're very excited to hold that in person. It's a goal of our hours to hold all of those education courses throughout the year live. And again, that's that networking, that member engagement, ensuring that we're offering those educational opportunities to our members. So yeah, this year it's already May.
I know.
I can remember November, but we have a wonderful leadership team of 30 amazing people and leaders, really. They're all amazing leaders, and they're really delivering for our members, which is
Yeah,
great.
no doubt. You can see the
Yeah.
excitement beam from,
Yes.
especially as the leader, it's not something you can just fake, to be honest. If your team is working so well, it comes across just like what you're sharing. It's this
Yeah.
energy, and you get to see things come to fruition that mean a lot.
Yes, it does. It means a lot, especially for me having been in the organization and been a beneficiary of great leaders and being able to give that to my team because it's what I've always experienced since 2017 when I first chaired my first committee. So to see that full circle when you've been a beneficiary of such great leadership and now me being a leader of this team it's just it's humbling for one, but also it's what I've worked for and been taught to do. by other great leaders. So I am just feeling really wonderful about that. And wonderful isn't the word, it's just emotional actually about it. I take it very seriously.
Well, you just give me goosebumps all the way across the city.
It's amazing. It really is
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, I know too, we've talked about how our organizations can support each other. And so, with the
Yes.
podcast theme being Together We Rise, let's have a discussion on if you're in NSA Houston, how can we get them into IREM Houston and vice versa? Because, we have a membership that's right now, I think we're about to hit 40, which is pretty consistent for our chapter and growing. And
Hmm.
we've got a lot to offer and happy to support. So, any thoughts on the top of your head?
It was the NSA website, as I've shared with you, it was the NSA website that led me to you for our strategy meeting. And then when I saw your picture, I'm like, I know that face from somewhere. And so I think in the way of being able to support our members and collaborate on, because communication is communication, and certainly you guys, the NSA Houston, are subject matter experts in communication and speaking. And I think there's something there. There's a common ground there because we want to be able to give our membership base tools of how to communicate better. But also outside of that, as you know, Megan, we have luncheons, we have small group sessions, we have strategy meetings, and having a resource for those speaking engagements and those speaking opportunities, I think is another way that we could continue to collaborate. And then I was thinking too, because one of our main goals, one of our main goals is student outreach. How do we bring new and next generation leaders into our industry? And as you know, with the generation gap, which came up actually in a meeting today, with the generation gap becoming wider and wider, we need college students. We need students to bring into the fold, to bring into the industry. And I think that there's an opportunity there too in leadership development and student outreach that we could possibly collaborate on.
Oh, for sure. I'm so glad you mentioned the students because about in our January retreat, as a board group, we put in effective, I think February 1st, a student rate. So we've actually started working with the University of Houston. So perhaps maybe
Awesome.
there's some offline conversations we have for you to connect with those groups to be able to say, do you come and talk to them? How do you get connected? And then we have connections into UH downtown and Sam Houston and A&M. So sounds like there's definitely, I love
Yeah.
this. If people know
Yes.
me, they know that I love to see the next generations be helped and supported and up into the working world. So I'm so glad you mentioned that because I'm happy to chat with you about it. And our board has plenty of connections too. So,
Let's do that. We've Kudos to the IREM Houston outreach teams over the last 2 or 3 years because they have really made strides with connecting specifically with U of H. And we currently have a future leader that has her own real estate company or real estate club at TSU. So we've made some great strides, but I think we have to continue to nurture those relationships and to throw our net out further because as I said, most managers will tell you a story of how they kind of just tripped into the industry. They didn't necessarily go to school for it or learn about it. And I think the more that we outreach and let people know, hey, this is a stable, wonderful career. Every building in Houston has a manager. And hey, we're partnering with the NSA and we're going to give you some skill sets on communication and small group, learning sessions. I just think there's an opportunity there that we
mhm.
have to continue to do the groundwork on. And the only way to do that is to partner with other organizations and continue to make those steps forward.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I love your vision. Folks, if you're listening, you can see she's got the vision, she's got the energy, and she is working it and you're doing such a great
Yes.
job at both, where she volunteers and full time. So make sure you're checking out Nicole Foster on LinkedIn. Make sure you're looking up IREM Houston on their webpage. We'll be posting all of those links so that you can easily get connected. Go to their conferences, reach out and get involved because we're all in the same city. And if you're trying to grow your business, as NSA Houston speakers sometimes do, it might be a different revenue stream for you that if you want to expand and do something different, well, guess what? We have some friends at IREM Houston that are welcoming you to do just that. All right,
That's right.
Nicole. So
That's
my
right.
last question, I like to always keep it like a little personal fun at the end. So my last question is, what is a special talent that you have and maybe not many people know about?
Well, I think word is unfortunate. Well, I won't say unfortunately, but word is getting out. But I am a huge step aerobics person. I do step aerobics and have done step aerobics for many, many, many years. Melissa Horn, who's on our board of directors, I walked into step class and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I didn't know you step." But I love step aerobics. It is my jam, especially one particular class and instructor at LA Fitness. I've been going to her, I can't even count how many years, but I love step aerobics. It's my passion. I wish I could do it every day if I could, and that would be my workout. But I'm also a big art fanatic. I love the arts. I love to paint. I've got so many canvases, so many paint brushes, all kinds of paint at my house. My kids are like, "You're running out of room." So I love to just paint, and it's not. It could be abstract. It could be something a sky scene I took a picture of. But I love to paint also. But step aerobics, that is my jam. Yeah, that's my
That,
jam.
that's your jam. Sounds like you have jam and toast. You have one that's like super
Yes.
awesome and another one that's this free expression of your mind.
Yes, it is. It is. It's very relaxing. Painting just is very soothing. When I have the time to just pull all my things out and cover my kitchen table or the dining room table, I do it. It's very relaxing for me.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Love to get
Thank
to know
you,
more about
Megan.
IREM and yourself. So between hobbies and working full time, staying busy, I think you set a great example that you mentioned earlier. You're paying it back of leaders that you saw do a great job, and you're continuing that tradition. So thank you for everything you're doing. It's
Thank
always
you.
exciting to see somebody fly and soar.
I know. Thank you so, so much. I can't even tell you how full circle it felt that I saw your picture and you've been a part of this journey since the beginning with me, leading our strategy meeting, which people are still talking about. So I love it. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Well, if you're tuning in, check us out for another episode for NSA Houston's podcast called Together We Rise, where we will be interviewing another president of another organization, bringing in opportunities for both of us, them and our group, for as much as we can do to build Houston. Until then, see you next time. Thanks again, Nicole, and we'll see you then.
Thanks, Megan. See you next time.
Bye.